If you've been a content creator long enough, this has probably happened to you. You just finished filming and now you're staring down 100 different clips that you have to sort through and label. Well, you don't actually have to do that anymore. I have a system that will automatically organize your clips and turn them into short form content. Now, there's a caveat though, right now. This works specifically for B-roll type footage. It's not built for talking heads. So if you're sitting on a bunch of B-roll and you want to turn it into viral reels, this is exactly what you need. Okay, so the very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my assets folder right here and I'll show you guys, this is what I already prepped for this video. You'll need some footage and you'll also need a reference video. So we have a reference video up here. I'm just gonna mute it. So this is the reference video. It's about 18 seconds long. It's like, okay. Usually whenever you're creating content, you always want a reference video, especially if you're starting a brand new channel. You aren't the leader of the industry or the space. And so what you want to do is the first step whenever you're strategizing is to blend in. You have to make content that other people will watch so that you can now be a part of this group, of this pack. This is why having a reference video is very, very important. Most instances, especially if you're not coming in with experience, you're gonna find that creating brand new, fresh content is actually very difficult. And so the only way that I really recommend people to start creating content is just find what's already out there, look at what they're doing, and see how you can do it with your own footage. This example is really from my 30-day TikTok challenge when I went to Disney World. I made like a whole TikTok themed Disney channel only about Disney World for 30 days straight. And so this is one of the process I learned as a result of it. And so here is my footage. Some of these footage is mine, some of them is not, some of them are from my friends, from my family, or they're sourced from all different places, okay? But you can see only a few of them are named. The rest is, I mean, my guess is as good as yours. So how you usually would go about this is that I would go through every single video. I would scrub through it, see like this is me going to Disney World. This is a shot of us going sideways. There they are. This is a shot of me finding my cousins, you know. This is a shot of the event here. You have to go through all that. That's a lot of footage to go through. So what do we do first? Well, this is what we're going to do. This is the AI system. This is one of the AI systems that I built. So we're going to change this folder. So you're in Cowork right now. And oh yeah, by the way, all of this workflow is done through Cowork exclusively. So yeah, this system is all built through Cowork. Let's see, / organize my folder, my footage inside of this folder. We're gonna let it run and you're gonna see what this does, okay? What this part basically does, this is my AI content organizing system. So what this does, it analyzes all of the footage and it takes out basically a few frames from the footage itself to see what is going on inside of the video. From there, it classifies and gives it a name. And so you can basically shortcut this whole entire process of this, just like manual labor. But I will say this, over a period of time, you will begin to learn which of your footage performs the best and which performs the lowest, and you'll begin optimizing it from there. And so I would use this system, especially if you're new to content creation, if you're new to a job, I would definitely apply this. If your content is just scattered all over the place, I would use this. So now it just came up with a to-do list right here. You can see it's gonna scan our footage folder and it's gonna check for duplicates. It's gonna extract 1 frame per video and clip at the 5-second mark. And then it will build a montage grid and analyze the footage visually, create organized folder structures by locations and scene, and lastly, it will generate content inventory with editor briefing. So now it's gonna go through all of our footage and I'll just let this run. We'll pause the video here. All right, and one of the ways that helped me really learn how Cowork worked in particular is just opening up this So right here, it's doing work. Most people, they would just skip it. They wouldn't really look at it, but I tend to take a look to see what it does. Exactly, might not have a frame at 5 seconds. So see, it's like, it's showing you some of the issues that it's running into, but it also fixes it as well. See, look, right here, this by default, it takes the frame from the clip at the 5 second mark, but because of these clips here, or these photos, it changed its game plan, basically from the 5 second to the 0 second mark instead for the 5 missing ones. So it kept the same thing for everything else. Now it's gonna build a montage grid for the visual analysis. So this is just kind of, this is the boring back end. You know, you can feel free to skip this part if you want, but this is the part where you really learn how the AI thinks, how it works, and how you can think in the same way that it does, so that you can anticipate its steps, see what it's gonna do, and speak to it even better. Right here, see, you can see for this clip in general, it's a view from inside the car, looking out, dash cam or car window view. This one is theme park entrance, looks like Disney Springs or Universal area with crowds, palm trees. So see, it's just basically classifying all of this footage at the current moment. It's going through. And for this one, these clips are a little bit more ambiguous. So it's taking another shot at it. And it's doing a really good job. Look at this. Cinderella Castle at night with fireworks / light show. Definitely Magic Kingdom nighttime spectacular. It's just going ham right now. Yeah, this is crazy. Like, I've ran this system a few times already, but this is still so crazy. And the worst part is that I found this system close to the end of my 30-day challenge, and so I didn't get to even fully utilize this during my 30-day challenge. Oh, if I had this during my full 30-day challenge, it would have been crazy. Okay, so let's see what it does now. So, I mean, there's a little bit of dates on here, right? So now it's gonna build over the folder structure. We'll let that run. Okay, and dude, look at this. Arrival and entrance, famously, look how well it organized everything for us. And if we wanna go even one step further, I'm gonna show you guys this. So this just reorganized everything. I like to speak this instead. Now, what I want you to do is go ahead and rename every single file according to what is inside the clip, what type of shot it is. I'll let you decide on the details so that we can easily reference these clips, videos, and images without actually watching them. And so while it does that, there's one more thing that we have to do in the meantime that I'll show you guys. So here is a document that I made that shows how to use everything properly, okay? So first, this is the Viral Reel Remake SOP. And there's different structures to a good hook. These are a few of them. See, we have the contrast effect, the review, the POV / day in the life, before and after, and the proof stack. So what we want to do now is we're gonna go ahead, we found our reel already, so, and we've identified the format. Well, we haven't identified the format just yet. We don't need to, honestly. So this is the prompt that we are going to use. If you want this prompt, or if you want this SOP document, I'll have it inside of my school community for you to join. And you can get it there, or you can just grab it off here. And so we're gonna copy and paste this into Gemini. We're gonna go ahead and put this in. So I do have a premium Gemini account as well. But this is using the Google Workspace business account. So you can actually get Gemini Pro for a lot cheaper than getting the regular premium Gemini subscription. We're gonna go upload this. Okay, so this will basically, we're gonna turn on thinking mode as well. So it's gonna take its time and think about this. I'll get back to you guys once all this step is complete. Okay, so everything is done now. One library, one reel. Everything stays where on. So just imagine this had just finished. Look at this, okay? Here's our footage folder that we had earlier. And look at, so the unusable, of course, it's not gonna put anything much. But I just want you to take a look at this. Okay, that's fine, but look at all of this, bro. Like, is this correct? Epcot Flower Garden, dude. Guardians Cosmic. Bro, how does it know? Look at that. Like, it has all of the correct names on it. And this is not just for one folder. Like, how long would this entire step take you guys to do on your own? Just like, really. Comment down below how long this would take you, because I know this would take me at least an hour or two, and that's if I do it, if I'm focused doing it. If I get distracted, I am definitely gonna go off. Look at this, Tron. Okay, this is probably the only one that's incorrect. That was incorrect as well. Alright, this one's incorrect as well. So yeah, that just gives you an idea. It's not perfect, of course. Like, it's just taking one frame, but most of this is pretty on point. I'm not gonna say that this system is perfect, but it does whatever it needs to do, and it does it in a really quick manner. Of course, like, you can go through and check it back as well. You'll have a way easier time to look. Like, imagine you start your footage organization from this step rather than from zero. You know, how much time would you be saving? That's the whole entire point of this. So anyways, now that we have everything, we're gonna do this. Slash real remapper. Let's run all of this footage over my reference reel now. So you can do slash real remapper, or you can just say, let's run all this footage over my real remapper. Whatever. There's tons of different ways that you can reference your skill. So in case you don't know what skills is, make sure to tune in for the next episode, or, you know, if you want to learn what skills is and how I use skills, comment down below as well. Now the skill is gonna start running. Okay, so what it tried to do is it tried to run my video automatically through Gemini. And so this is the step where you have to go. This is basically the paid step where I would run it through Gemini via an API. An API is basically like we're running it through their back end so that we don't have to do it manually. But I already did this manually because I didn't want to get charged. I'm Asian. I'm cheap, you know, bro. Cheap. So we already ran this earlier from right here. You guys saw that step? See, look, I need that Gemini API key to be set, but actually Andy has given me the breakdown already, so I don't need to pull it. So we have all of this done, and it's just thinking. All right, and this is what we get. So the first shot, it gives you text overlay as well. First shot, MK, entrance approach, POV, you're finally booking a 2026 trip. It's not a want, it's a need. All right, well, this is the whole entire process of how I would edit, or not would, but this is the entire process of how I edit a short viral reel, from just having footage all the way to having a finished product. Now, if you want me to put all this together to see what the final results would look like if I were to do this, let me know down in the comments below. This is the viral AI short form content system that I use to create a bunch of shorts or a bunch of reels or a bunch of TikToks, whatever the case is. You can apply this to any short form platform. Now, you know, when it comes to long form, it's a little bit different than short form. Short form is just very quick, energetic clips, whereas long form, on the other hand, you need a stronger story, you need longer footage. So the process that I would use for long form is much different than I would use for short form. But there you have it. Okay, and now the second question comes. Yeah, but aren't you just making AI slop at this point? Like, how do you know it's even good? Well, this is the second part of the system. The second part of the system is that you take a viral reel, either TikTok, Instagram reel, or short, throw it into this system, and it will literally dissect the format into why that format worked for them and help you try to make that format work for you as well. You can get 5 different angles, 10 different angles, or even 20 different angles, all from the same amount of footage. But anyways, you're making a crazy amount of content that you can just keep on getting out and out and out. It's like, this is how you get ahead and start competing on quantity against your competitors. Like, you will just flood the market with such insanely optimized content. The best part too is you can feed all that content data back into the system and it will learn from it, apply into your next batch, rinse and repeat. You do this like every 7 days. I mean, technically, if you have enough volume, if you're getting like 5 videos every 3 days, it's even better. Okay, so after every 10 pieces of content, your system will go back and look at top outliers, the top 2 outliers, and the bottom 2 bottom liars to see like what were the patterns between top 2 and what were the patterns between bottom 2. From there, it would only take the good or start implementing the good and take it out of the bad. And that's how you begin optimizing your content. Like, so just think of it as a square, okay? Like, you have this square block. Every single day, you can bring the block 1 level higher. But some people, they just bring it up like this and it stretches. So their bottom layer and their top layer has a massive gap. Other people have a very tight layer, but they are higher leveled. And so that means that they perform overall, they perform a lot better in terms of views. You might have seen this. Some examples of this are YouTube channels that have like 20 million subscribers and they're consistently hitting 2 to 3 million views. And this is pretty common. Typically, if you want to get a good or a decent view ratio subscriber to view channel, is usually about, you get 10% of your subscribers watching your channel. Now, this can vary, but overall for the top guys, that's usually the ratio. But if you're like a bottom guy, you want to have as close of your subscriber count to be your view count as possible, if not a lot higher. So in the next video, I'm gonna show you a different system, the AI comm system. What this one does is it goes through all of your synced chats and it compiles it into one piece of information that you can read from. It's like your central command center. So imagine you are one radio tower. Okay, you're the central radio tower. You're the tallest one of them all. And there are smaller radio towers around you. So all of these radio towers, they get signal from the area below them. And so all the small ones, they get signal from the area around it. And then it will compress the signal and then send the signal over to you. And so now you have to compress the signal. But what happens when you can't compress the signal because you're trying to send out a signal as well? Because you're trying to compress the signal, your signal isn't being sent out to the next tower. And that's basically what ends up happening with people who are in director positions, director roles, manager roles, is that there's just so much signal going on. And so this system basically alleviates that signal constraint of just getting too many things at once. It auto-organizes everything based off of your own knowledge. And so you're kind of transferring your skill over to another system so that it can work right next to you. Imagine it as your digital AI twin. That's what that is. That's what you're doing. So yeah, if you're interested in that system, subscribe. That is probably gonna come out for sure after this video. I don't know when that one's gonna come out yet though. I'm filming kind of pretty far ahead right now. I'm just trying to get ahead so that I can film things in between. That's the goal.